Yo, what's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Huge day for crypto yesterday, especially altcoins. We finally got that important close of ETH BTC above the 200-day EMA over here. We spoke about this over the course of last week and on Monday, and we said if we can close above the 200-day EMA and start to consolidate above here, get above these highs, especially with the daily close, it will be looking good for ETH BTC, guys. And this is what I've got planned for ETH BTC at the moment. I'm obviously still very much long on Ethereum. Ethereum is absolutely ripping. We're going to go into that later. But let's get into ETH BTC quickly, because all we're waiting for now is multiple daily closes above this 200-day EMA and this breakout level over there. So some chop around here can be expected. I don't think we'll go up in a straight line, but I do see this level over here. You can see this low and this high over here. This is a key point. I'm going to make this red because it is resistance. So what we could see is a push up, get rejected from there and then get a nice move to the upside. And an easy trend to follow will be this uptrend over here that is looking like support as time goes on. So, where we're wrong with this idea, I think if we go below the 50-day EMA, we are wrong with this idea. If we fall below this trend line over here, we can easily bail out of this position. But for now, ETH BTC is looking really strong, and I am expecting upward price action over there. So this trade, very much valid. If we do move up a bit more and come down and test it as support, it will be looking very bullish for ETH BTC and the rest of the altcoin market. If we have a look at Bitcoin dominance, guys, spoke about this for a while now. Since we broke down over here, this was on the 7th of July. I said, guys, watch out, let's get long on altcoins. And we've since we closed this week over here on the 7th of July, we were looking for price to fall underneath the 50-day EMA. And then our target was the 50% level, which we closed below yesterday. So what I'm looking for Bitcoin dominance now is a obvious move to this 200-day EMA. So definitely expect altcoins to run, expect sideways for Bitcoin. I'm personally expecting sideways for Bitcoin and altcoins to rip. So I think we did see the pullback for Bitcoin yesterday. We'll go into the Bitcoin TA in a bit. But guys, this is a huge breakdown. Of course, there's this move from May to the end of June over here. That halfway point comes in just below 64%, which we spoke about. And because we've closed below there and taken out this previous low, which got a strong bounce with the 50-day EMA over there, this is looking like we are going to fall down to this 200-day EMA. So when we are now in a somewhat of a downtrend for this below the 50% level, the recent 50% level, below the 50-day EMA, as soon as we get below the 200-day EMA, it's going to be looking really good for altcoins. And our next level, if this is the top for Bitcoin dominance, the level to get below is, of course, the 50% level. And that 50% level is coming in right over here. Pivot high, nice liquidity grab over here. This is coming in at 60.34%. So definitely expect a move down to at least 60.34%. So, we could see a push like this, nice bounce, get below the 200-day EMA, and then send it down there. And if we start to lose these levels, then I am looking at these targets over here, of course. 52% Bitcoin dominance or 43%. So I'm sure you're getting sick of me saying those numbers. I say it every time. I've said it for the past year now. Those are the two targets for Bitcoin dominance, and we are looking for that to play out. But for now, below the 50-day EMA is definitely bullish for altcoins, and below the 50% level as well. So we've spoken about ETH BTC, we've spoken about Bitcoin dominance. Let's get straight into Bitcoin over here. Of course, getting a push up to that 123K level. And yesterday we saw a correction all the way down to 115K. This is business as usual, guys. This is the volatility that we are going to see. It obviously seems like a big move, of course. But when Bitcoin is above 100K, of course, a $7,500 move on Bitcoin is only 6%, guys. We've seen 6% in hourly candles before. So this is nothing huge, guys. Personally, we can easily see a correction down to 111K. So what we can see is Bitcoin falling down to this level over here, altcoins holding strong, altcoins holding those key 50% levels and those important moving averages, but now is definitely the time to focus. I definitely can see a pullback here for Bitcoin. I don't think it's going to happen. I'm still in my long from 102K. I'm only closing this at 135K, guys. We spoke about this. Still long. This could come down all the way here. This could be worth loading up, of course, if we do come down to that 112K level. But Bitcoin, I think, I don't think we're going to see much more to Bitcoin. I think investing in Bitcoin now, you're a bit late to the party, of course. You've had multiple chances. We spoke about the 49K. We spoke about the zone over here. These were the ultimate chances, guys. We did take this trade all the way up here, and then we've taken this next leg up. We have been swing trading these moves, of course, holding our spot positions. We've been in our spot positions since all the way beginning of 2024. So we are looking to cash out in the next 6 to 9 months. That is for sure. So look at Ethereum, guys. I've been so bullish on Ethereum ever since we got above and took out the level over here at 2,750. We came down and we flipped this 50% level into support over here. Of course, we got a pullback, nice bounce off there, reclaimed the EMAs. This was when we went long. We went long on the 4th of July. So, guys, we have to take this trade. I think we're going to push up here. We've got the imminent bull cross. We've been waiting for this golden cross and bull cross for a while. We finally got it. We've actually been waiting for this cross since like the whole year, basically. So here's the cross. We all know the cross comes with huge moves to the upside. So, we are now above this level. We are now in this bullish market structure. $3,300 is my TP1, guys. So we are in this long from here. I've moved my stop. You can move your stop loss to break even. This is a free trade now. TP1 is 3,300. I think it's going to happen this week. TP2, $4,000, and definitely hold a moon bag for much higher prices. Who knows truly how high this is going to go? But just know when we do break out of this, it's going to be looking something like Bitcoin's breakout of that 69K. I do see a move up into this between $6,000 and $8,000 at least, maybe even $10,000. I think a lot of people are going to be closing their positions early. I think a lot of people got pretty hurt this cycle. And I think as soon as prices come up to $4,000, people are going to be very happy to sell. But just remember, we've had a huge consolidation at $4,000 for basically, how many days is this, guys? For 500 days. So if you see a consolidation of 500 days, then you see a huge move to the upside, big break to the upside. And this is when the real money is going to be made, when ETH comes into that $7,000 region. So definitely watch out for that. I'll be holding a moon bag, TP1, TP2, and moon bag over there. XRP, I'm still in the XRP trade. We caught this basically the day it started moving. Congrats if you took that trade with me. XRP, $3. TP of this trade is $3.36. I will evaluate, how much are we going to take off the table. I'll probably take half off the table here and see where the rest takes us, of course. Let's go into USDT dominance because this, guys, we've been speaking about this for a while now. And ever since it lost the 50-day EMA over here, we've been, okay, guys, this is the time to get long on crypto. This is the leg. And this bearish market structure is playing out. This just shows the importance of these 50 and 200-day EMAs as well as the 50% level. Next target for USDT dominance is, of course, the range low, 3.85%. This is where we're going to see that 4K ETH. We come into the zone over here, ETH will be at $4,000. Mark my word. And it looks like it's on its way. There's nothing bullish about making lower lows. So just remember, guys, nothing bullish about making lower lows. So this is bearish over here for USDT dominance. So definitely expect a move into here. And once we break this level over here, which I do expect, this is going to be the blow of top. This will be the blow of top. So we could get a move down here, maybe a bounce and then down, or we're going to break the level, retest and move down. This will be the blow of top. This will be those exponential, those 10x gains in the altcoins. This is that leg down. So definitely watch this chart very, 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 very close. USDC dominance is right now getting the death cross. We know what the death cross is. It's when the 50 crosses below the 200-day EMA. This confirms the bearish market structure, of course, bearish price action. This is a lagging indicator, but it hits the nail on the head, guys. So what we can expect now is basically we could see a move up, a pullback in crypto up to that 1.8%. Otherwise, I'm expecting a move down to 1.14% over there for another market top. We had a market top over here in March last year. We had a market top last year in November, December, and this is most likely going to be the next market top. We can have a look how long it took. Okay, well, that took 268 days. 268 days takes us to end of August. So are we going to see a nice leg over here, run into the end of August, a little pullback, and then a bullish Q1 of next year? Let's see, guys. We're taking it one step at a time, but just know that this is the target. This is where profits will be taken. You have to be taking profits when USDC dominance or USDT dominance is at support, guys. You have to be taking some profits. We took these trades over here. We took a lot of profits coming into this level over here. We have now loaded up, and now this is the confirmation, and it looks like we are moving to the downside. There's a quick little word here about Ondo. Have a look at Ondo now. Ondo's looking really good, guys, holding those levels. If you aren't in this long yet, you can still get in the long. Basically, what we're saying is that this low is not going to be taken out. This looks like a liquidity grab out of all the people that went long over here. Of course, bullish divergence coming into this low, and you can take this long. And of course, we're looking for at least all-time highs. Personally, I'm not selling a single Ondo until it hits $3. So this is the Ondo trade. So risk to reward 6 to 1 over there. 3.5 to 1 if we go to all-time highs, and this $1.40 will be, this is where our stops will be in break even, and we can look for building the position. We can take some profits into this level, then we can add up coming back into that $1.11. That's of course if we get this push up now into that area over there. Push up, take some chips off the table, move our stop loss to break even, something like that. Then if we come get a move down to this level over here, this is a key level for Ondo. You can see there was a high here. There's the low here as well. And if we extend it across, you can see that it was this high over here. So this is the level that I would be looking out for Ondo. You can, if you are very conservative, you can just get into this trade. Stops below the important EMAs. It's also a decent risk to reward, or you can front run this idea of expecting a move up. And guys, these big moves to the upside, of course, line up perfectly with the USDT dominance collapse, USDC dominance collapse. It all lines up with that, guys. We are expecting a push at the moment. Total crypto market, all-time highs was, of course, on Monday with Bitcoin. Looks like our total 3 starting to take out these levels here, guys. There's nothing bearish about breaking the high. So here we broke the high. We've closed a few candles above there. I think if we can get a proper close above this level over here, which we're currently at, I would like to see a close of total 3 at 960 billion. If we close 960 billion, then the next target's $1.16 trillion. And the cup and handle target's obviously $2 trillion. These are going to be, this is where you're going to have your $3 Ondo. When the total crypto market, total 3 hits $2 trillion, and the total crypto market hits our $5 trillion target over here. So that is what we are looking for the crypto market at the moment. But otherwise, going back to Ondo, bullish. So what else do we have? We have SUI currently trading at $4. So bullish, guys. This is one of my biggest spot positions. SUI looking really good above here. Personally got in at about 80 cents over here. This was at token 2049 last year. Went uber long on SUI, and we have been reaping that reward, of course. What is ripping today, guys? Bonk showing some strength. This is very bullish. We should see Solana follow if the rest of the meme sector picks off. But what you can see here, guys, from this November top over here, all the way down to the low that we saw most likely in April, March, and this April low over here. That 50% level does come at the current price. So this is going to be huge resistance, okay? This could be, maybe we're going to get a pullback in the crypto markets, but just know that these 50% levels are resistance. So if you are in a bonk trade, then you can look to take profits for sure. And I personally wouldn't be shorting anything at the moment, but if you guys missed the trade, we could see this 50% level get tagged. So we can come all the way down here before the next leg up. And notice that lines up quite nicely with these old tops here as well. So old tops over there, lows over there, huge level here for bonk. So this is the level that I'd be interested in bonk if we get a pullback. It's obviously a healthy pullback. It's about a 30% pullback. There we go, 30% pullback. So definitely watch out for bonk. Do not FOMO into bonk. It is at the 50% level. It is at resistance. So definitely watch out for bonk over there. Okay, we'll do a couple altcoin requests. So PHA and TIE. Let's have a look at PHA. Okay, still stuck below these levels. We spoke about this a while ago. I said we would want to see price above these May highs, of course. You can very much be waiting on the sidelines for this trade. You can see you get pumps and then dumps. So once we get above the 200-day EMA and get the golden cross, just know, guys, that these tokens don't go parabolic until the red EMA is above the blue. Yes, of course, if you got in over here whilst they weren't crossed, it would have been a better trade. But guys, we have to wait for confirmation. If you don't get confirmation, then you're just gambling, right? So if we don't wait for confirmation, we're just gambling. So something like this, I would personally be waiting for that cross over there. Of course, the red crossing above the blue, and that would tell us that it's game on for something like this. And just know that this has to happen before we get those huge moves up. So you can definitely be patient on this. Wait for the golden cross. Just know that ETH only just got the golden cross, okay? And it got the golden cross, and what's happened to ETH since? Well, it's basically gone vertical. We got the golden cross. I called the golden cross vertical. So I'm expecting vertical moves here. Remember last time what happened? Got the golden cross, nice push up to $4,000. Got the golden cross over here, vertical. So guys, you can be patient and wait for the golden cross. Okay, what is next? TAI. Yeah, very much stuck below the EMA over here. This idea was, of course, if we break through the 200-day EMA, test that as support, then we're on our bikes going up. But this is stuck below the EMA. Just look how big this EMA is, guys. Huge resistance over here, showing TIE absolutely no mercy. So just know that we can't get those huge runs. Of course, you can get a move like this, but these are what we're waiting for, guys. We don't want to trade this when we can trade this, right? It's confirmed. It happens in a few days. That's what we want to be trading. We don't want to be trading anything else. So you can be waiting for the perfect confirmation. Yeah, I'm sure there is for our bearish divergence, of course, when you get a huge move like that. Let's have a look at WIF, dog with hat. Let's go to the meme sector. Take off the cobwebs for these trading ideas. Right. Yeah, this was a great trading idea. I personally didn't take it. I think this was when WIF was trading up here. We said this level over here is going to get tested. That's 79 cents. It lined up nicely with this candle over here and these highs, of course. So this was a good trading idea. This thing hasn't taken off yet. You can wait for a few more days above this EMA, but if you are impatient, you can be taking this trade over here, stop below this last low over there. I mean, if it comes down to these levels over here, it won't be looking great, but if we can get another move down to this 50 EMA, that could be looking good. This gives us a risk reward of 3.06 to 1. So basically 3 to 1 on the money. If you are willing to take this trade, this could definitely play out. I don't like how this low is a lot lower than this low. Of course, that's going to happen with meme coins and the market just naturally de-risking itself. But this is where I would be taking chips off the table. I've personally bought some spot whiff along the lines, some over here, some over here, some over here. So I think this $2.58 huge level, and I will be selling into this level, guys, the 50% level, just like Bonk. This 50% level. I think we're looking at a different Bonk earlier. But there's that 50% level that it is currently trading at, and this is a huge level. The 50% level is always going to be resistance. Just remember that, guys. Very high probability that you get a rejection off those levels. Let's have a look at Sonic quickly. Hey, cool. Currently that's 37 cents. Yeah, I would love for this to close above the 50-day EMA, guys. You've been so patient with Sonic. We'll have a look at Phantom just to get a little bit more data. I know it's here. Okay, this doesn't seem to be linked up, but yeah, would love to see this above 50 cents. So we can take that back to our chart now that we're having a look at. I just wanted to know where the 200-day EMA was. Of course, this hasn't been on this trading exchange for 200 days yet, so we haven't developed an EMA. So it should be soon, though. Okay, another few weeks, and we'll have a 200-day EMA for Sonic, which is huge. What I would like to see is a reclaim of at least this range low over here. You can see this level over here. We can make it a little bit more thinner and get a little bit more accurate with this. We're currently facing it as technical resistance over here, but the 200-day EMA, 50-day EMA is below us. So what I'd like to see would be price get above this level with some nice volume over there. Maybe get rejected off the 50, 200-day EMA, come back, flip this into support, and then onwards and upwards over there. Okay, let's have a look at TON, and we'll have a look at EMA as well. OP, we've spoken about OP, guys. I'm not bullish on optimism. ENA, okay, holding up over here. We're waiting for this trade. This might have been an old trade that I got stopped out of, but ENA, it's so volatile, guys. Just remember that I am targeting this fair value gap over here, $1.10, and you're showing some strength today, getting sold off, grabbing all the liquidity since Saturday, above the 50-day EMA. This is a valid long, in my opinion. We are above these levels. I would be very conservative with this trade with a very deep stop loss. TP1 into this red box, TP2 at the fair value gap. This is what I would do at the moment. Targeting these levels, guys. Know that this is going to break out. It's going to be a decent break. You can also be more conservative and just wait to get above this level as well. But if you want to get in a little bit now, you can take a small trade, about a half risk or a 0.25% of your portfolio risk. And then once it gets above these levels and test it as support, we can get in here. It'll move our average position over there, and then we can move our stop loss over there, and we'll get an even better entry over there. Of course, buying this level up here, average position over there, bang. You're already in the profit. You can lock in and go from there. We'll have a look at optimism. Remember, guys, I'm not too bullish on this. I do not like how this June low is much lower than the April low. Not a huge fan of that. If we look at Bitcoin, here was the April low, here was the June low. Okay, bullish. Ethereum, April low, June low, bullish. XRP, April low, June low, that's bullish. It's a higher low, guys. It's a higher low. Solana, higher low. Ondo, technically a lower low, but let's see how this one plays out. I think a lot of the altcoins did get beaten. The blue chips did get hurt. But because it does have a lower low, technically it's not as strong as the other ones. So optimism, I would say, is not as strong as the other tokens. Sui, higher low. Higher low for me is, bullish. Aave, I'd always miss this guy. I always miss the Aave trade. I've been so bullish on this, but I always miss the entry. I always lose focus when the time is right. Chainlink, higher low, bullish. Hype, high low. Sonic, lower low. Okay, bit of a red flag for this one. But I could wait for this 65-cent region and just bail out of this position for sure. Hype, very much a higher low. If you're in this trade, you can close this trade. It's run a lot, might run more, but let's take some chips off the table, guys. We have to take chips off the table, especially if we are leaving our runners run. You have to take some off the table. This was the plan. This was a huge risk to reward over here. Yeah, guys, I'm gonna end the stream over there. We're looking so good. ETH 3,200 is happening right now. Should happen before I end the stream. $3,200. It just shows that what an absolute joke of a price of $1,500. If you guys sold this, it's not how it works, guys. What a joke of a price. Even $2,000, such a cheap price. Anything under $2,000 for ETH was actually a no-brainer in hindsight. But let's see, guys. Remember just to ignore the FUD, counter trade the news, and we are going to nail the rest of the cycle. But guys, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching. We'll see you guys on Friday. Smash the rest of the week. Cheers for now.